What's up? Welcome back to the Tina Parker Show. Y'all, we are on day 21 of this 30-day challenge. It's the Faith in Motion challenge. And every day I have a theme to help you get out of your way, to help you get unstuck, to help you um, maybe think about things a little different. Okay, today's episode is all about the mindset. The unseen difference between the woman who rises and the one who repeats. Okay, repeats what? I'm going to tell you. You'll know by one trait. She chooses faith over feelings. It's kind of also faith fueled refill, okay? When everything collapses, maybe you've lost everything. The relationship, the job, the deal, she doesn't crumble. She calibrates. Welcome back.
Welcome to the Tina Parker Show, where we burn the bullshit, speak the truth, and build brands that break chains. I'm Tina Parker, spiritual badass, truth teller, and the woman who turns pain into purpose. If you're ready to lead with fire, heal out loud, and drop the damn mic, you're home.
All right, let's roll into this. The two minds. What is that? There are two kinds of mindsets, girls, ladies. Okay? In every situation, the reactive mind, the emotional, impulsive, dramatic, and the strategic mind, calm, grounded, and faithful. Y'all, I'll be real, okay? I've shared some truth, some fire, where I brought out my passion, okay? And I want you to know that when you see that, when you see people like that, don't assume they're not being strategic, okay? There are folks that can come off a little more passionate. That's their fire, that's their makeup, that they are, it doesn't necessarily mean they're not grounded and calm. They're trying to get their point across to kind of shake people a little bit, maybe wake them up, okay? It is strategic in many cases, so don't make assumptions. That might be you, and I want you to know that it's not a bad thing to have some fire, to be passionate, okay? But you also got to be, it's not, you don't let that run your life. You are helping people, but you're also like fun. You are, you're caring. If you don't care about anything, you need to care about something, okay? You need to be passionate about something in the world. I believe that. The reactive mind says, I can't believe this happened to me, but we're talking about mindset. Okay, this is for your relationships. This is for your business. This is how you look at things when things don't go right, okay? Or when you're faced with, adversity, you're faced with past trauma, he left you, you lost everything, you know, all those things, okay? And there's a reactive mind and there's a mind that can see things as opportunities. Now, that strategic mind that I was talking about that can come out with fire, that person could be being strategic, all right? They're not letting it run their day. They're not like gonna go and getting a curl ball over it. They're trying to help people that have been sleeping. All right, I want you to know that, okay? So it's not necessarily that they're being reactive, okay? They're passionate about a cause. They're passionate about vulnerable people. Okay, I'm speaking about myself. Okay, that might be you too. Sometimes we just need to share. And you know what? I do believe this. I believe sometimes when a world or there's a cause that you're passionate about, if it's something that's destructive that you want to bring light to, sometimes things are dark, and we are in a time, in a season where a lot of people are bringing some passion. A lot of people are talking about the headlines. A lot of people, and I don't think that's a horrible thing. Okay, it's horrible if it causes them to not be successful in their life. Okay, when it does that to them, then it can be a problem. Okay, we're focusing on too much negativity. But if we are being strategic, if we are bringing light to what's dark that people are just being passive about. That was one thing during 2020 that, to be honest, I was passionate about. I was kind of tripping because, to be honest, I was thinking, how come there's like all these things going on in the world, and like, I'll be real, sex trafficking, I'm passionate about that because it's a real thing. And when you learn about what's going on, it can, and you might have been trafficked or groomed. There's a lot of people that have had that type of trauma in their life. Or you see vulnerable people being manipulated and controlled, but they don't realize it. I can get a little passionate about that too, because I want to bring awareness to the dark that's been going on, so that's how you create change, is when people are become more aware, when we bring light to the dark. Okay, just like the sky, there's all these stars, right? And you wouldn't see the stars if it wasn't in the dark. So sometimes we have to bring light to a dark space. Okay. I just want to make sure people understand that. That's important. So the reactive mind says, I can't believe this happened to me. The strategic mind says, okay, what is this teaching me? Okay. Let's say you lose a job. The reactive woman spirals. I'm not good enough. What if I can't pay my bills? The strategic woman breathes. She might pray. She writes a plan and starts calling new opportunities within 48 hours. Okay, she is great at pivoting. She's feeling it. You know, you feel it. You go, okay, I see you. And you move through it. You don't sit in the shit too long, okay? Your emotions are real, but how you get that energy out of you is important. Get it out, okay? Talk about it, pray about it, breathe through it, work out, dance, laugh. That's energy that's stored in your body. And if we hold it down, that's where later it can cause more problems. So we want to just get it out so we can move on with our damn life, right? Okay? But those emotions don't have to rule you. And that's what's important, okay? Faith over feelings in business. Let's talk about that. In business, success doesn't come to the most talented. It comes to the most emotionally disciplined. Or it just comes back down to who's not willing to quit. You know what I mean? Like, your path might change. It might not be exactly it might not turn out exactly the way you thought it would, but you just keep moving forward. You know what I mean? Regardless. And I believe the creator will open doors, bring people. I believe that's all real, but we have to have faith in movement, faith moving forward. Okay? If we just sit and stay stuck and do nothing, that doesn't help. He needs us to move, to create that energy, that flow. All right. A professional loses a client, misses a sale, gets ghosted, and her feelings want to shut it down. The successful woman says, let's learn the lesson and rebuild better. And it doesn't mean that person, you're not going to work with that. Maybe you get ghosted. It doesn't mean you won't work with that person in the future. It doesn't mean that's no, and that's this moment doesn't mean no forever. It means maybe right now. Does that make sense? So we keep moving. Happy, excited, enthusiastic. Like we know we are meant for more. We know that we are unique child of God, Yahweh. And we have Him, that energy, that creator inside of us. That means we're creators. So we get to create great things, or we can create bad things. Okay? Every high performer that I know, like a super successful, wealthy person that I know, has trained their emotions to take instruction from their faith, not the other way around. And it doesn't mean that they weren't, they didn't get all caught up in their emotions prior. Okay. It means that they learned. So we all start somewhere and we can learn. We can change. You can't build a 6-figure dream on a 5-minute mood. Don't forget that. Okay. Let's talk about relationships. In relationships, faith over feelings looks like not begging someone to see your value. It's not that you don't care, it's that you've decided to stop investing in the people who keep withdrawing. You don't need to invest in people that keep withdrawing. If it's not meant to be, it's not meant to be. You keep moving along. Next, 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 right? The unsuccessful mindset gets stuck in proving. They're going to see my value. They're going to see my worth. Nope, if you're not meant to be. I put it out there. I showed you what, my ideas are. I did this. I did, whatever. You've done it. Okay, done. They don't see, you just keep moving right along. Next, next, next. Okay? The successful one moves on into becoming. One woman spends weeks stalking his Instagram, decoding emojis. Another woman goes to therapy, hits the gym, and starts building her own brand. Same heartbreak, different habits. You guys keep moving forward. Okay? You can think in your mind, this is what I'm supposed to do. Don't be so attached to one way, one opportunity. Be open to, oh, if this wasn't it, that's okay. I'll just keep moving forward. Yahweh's going to bring the alignment, bring the aligned business, the aligned people, all of that. That has happened to me so many times. I just keep moving forward. Every successful woman I've ever met has a refill routine. Okay, one that she resets her faith before she burns out. I think, honestly, that people burn out because they get fixated or they don't have a purpose. So they're doing this routinely work without an end result or a purpose in mind. They're not excited, right? And we've all been there. We've all felt like, I'm burned out from this. But when you know you're meant for more, you just keep going. You don't know where the path's gonna, just be open. I'm open. I'm open to new opportunities. I'm open to people. I'm open to, you know what I mean? It's not saying don't have boundaries, okay? I'm not saying that. So here's the formula. Quiet before chaos. Pray or meditate first. Breathe, laugh, have fun. Seriously, life is too short. We are all going to die one day. We don't know when. It could be tomorrow, okay? And so we just need to have some fun. Gratitude before grind. Name 3 things that are still good. You know what? Sometimes that you might feel lonely, you might feel alone, you're building on your own. And guess what? Then you have to remember, look at my cute, whatever makes you smile, okay? Regardless of what's going on in the world, who makes you smile, okay? Think about those things. So name 3 things that are still good. You woke up today. Holy, that should be your number 1. Okay, you woke up today. A lot of people didn't. Movement before mood. Make your body, move your body to move your energy. Moving your body is so good. I hydrate right when I wake up. Well, first I go to the bathroom, brush my teeth, and I make my fire water. I hydrate, and as I'm getting, ready to get out the door, moving your body is like magic. It is so good. Okay, learning before scrolling. Feed your mind with growth, not gossip. You know what? That is so important to, there's been times that you can just scroll. Maybe you have intentions of like putting some content out there and you could scroll and be taking in all of this stuff. Sometimes I just have to not even get online so that I can focus on what's in my heart and what's in my mission. Because you could be taking in so much content that it skews with what you wanted to do for that day. You're like, oh, maybe I should do this. And then pretty soon you're like, I don't even know what I should put out there today. There's all this noise, you know what I'm saying? Personal development is massive, okay? What are you listening to? Books? People that are, have done great things with their lives? I think personal development is incredible. Feed your mind with growth, not gossip. And service before self-pity. Help someone else to remember your purpose. You know what I mean? Show up for a community, show up for other people, send a few messages. It's good stuff. When you manage your state, you master your success. Let's talk about expectations. The faith in expectations, okay? Faith isn't hoping something good happens. It's expecting it because you've prepared for it. The people who rise don't wait for perfect conditions. They create momentum with what's in their hand. I'm serious, you might have lost everything, but you can do elevated hill squats and push-ups in your home. You could even do them on the street. Okay, you can do them anywhere. I've done burpees in the street before because I was on the road. And don't ever forget that you can't drive forward while staring in the rearview mirror. You know why? You're going to freaking crash. One woman complains that nothing ever works out. The other expects favor. I expect things to work out. I don't know how it's going to work out. I just know it's going to work out. And plans her schedule like she's already winning. Okay? Which one do you think opportunity trusts more? I've got a challenge for you. Okay? Your challenge today. Choose faith over feelings 3 times. When you want to vent, pause and breathe. When you want to quit, do one small action anyway. So when I say, do you want to vent, I still think that you can be strategic in the things that you talk about. Okay, if we're bringing light to something, I don't think it should take over your life. I think it helps people become aware of who you are and what you care about. That's how you bring alignment. That's how you attract your people, right? I'll be honest, I have found people, mentors that I aligned with more. Why? Because they talked about what they cared about. They talked about the things that no one else was talking about. That's why I felt such a strong alignment with particular people. So it is important to share what you care about, what's important to you. Because people are dealing with some real heavy stuff right now, and they need to know, where does this person stand? I think the most difficult thing for me during 2020 is I was seeing all of these things that were taking place, but it was hard to find people that were really talking about what was going on in the world. And guess what? I aligned quickly with those that were actually talking about the things that were going on. And I knew their heart around it. I knew their feelings, or, yeah, that's what creates alignment. If we're just kind of blah and just talking, like personal development, butterflies and rainbows all the time, I'm like, you know what? You're freaking boring. Like, I want to hear how you feel, because I'm seeing some things, and why aren't you talking about it? Or do you just don't know what's going on, or are you just pretending? I don't like that, to be honest with you. Okay. Do I think we need to condemn all these people that have screwed up? No, because I think we all have. Well, let's hold back. The people that have been sex trafficking, I have a very difficult time forgiving them. I will say this. I think the people that are doing sexual abuse, I think they dealt with a lot of, so part of me has some pity for them, compassion for them, but I just don't, I struggle. I know they're sick. I know that they were probably abused. So that's where my compassion comes from, because abused people sometimes abuse other people, right? If they don't learn. And so there's a piece of me, a small piece, that has compassion for them because of they've been abused. But see, I was sex trafficked, but I didn't go on to do that. So we all have choices. So yeah, there's some acts that I don't think I could forgive. But um I think that people do like different things, like maybe they cheated, maybe they, you know, people, we all have skeletons in the closet, right? I just think that um it is important. I think this period is about bringing light to what's dark in the world, right? Because there has been companies, religious organizations, there has been all of these things, the government, um, the banking system. We're learning about all of these things, right? And so I just think it's important to bring light to it, but it's also, after we bring light to it, it is intended to create change so that we can. Sometimes you have to go to war in order to get peace. I believe that. Sometimes do you ever notice if you get in a bad argument with your husband or your spouse and you get it all out and then all of a sudden you get to have some makeup sex? That's good stuff, right? It's kind of the same thing. Oh, I love that. Makeup sex is the best sex. Did you know that? It really is. So anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, share this with someone that you think needs to hear it. Don't forget to subscribe, and I appreciate you. I love you. I hope you have an incredible, is it Thursday? No, it's Wednesday. Wednesday. Bye.